As many of you are aware, it's a very special day today. Happens to be Teachers' Day that we all celebrate throughout India. Worldwide, through UNESCO, it is celebrated every 5th of October. But in India, it is celebrated every 5th of September. We owe a lot to these teachers, starting with learning numbers and alphabets, and then later on many complicated things in our lives, psychology, technology, medicine, so much. Without them, I don't think world would be an aesthetic place. Like without mothers, Srishti will end. And without teachers, where will we go without education, see? But much more than all this, during the satsang I was reminded of my spiritual teachers. I'm not talking of Babuji Maharaj or Lalaji Maharaj or Chariji. They are our gurus, no doubt. But without the preceptors who introduced me to the system, many preceptors who nourished our spiritual life, we owe a great deal to them. I remember those days when there were no phones. Suddenly during college time, you get frustrated or you feel, oh, let me go and meditate more. So without warning, without notice, without phone call, you will end up going to the preceptor's residence. And it used to happen so many times. Prema Ben, she would get perhaps frustrated. She is here, very much here. Her husband would give us satsang and she would give us tea and coffee or whatever was available then, see. And they would share values. They would give us satsang, transmit to us, discuss about Guru's roles, inspire us. I'd like to share with you a simple life of a lady I knew as Draupadi Ben, under whose guidance I began my first sitting. It was one of the most extraordinary sitting I ever had in Sahaj Marg. She used to share stories about and around Babuji, about her brother when they were younger. Her brother was already in the system, Sahaj Marg system, following Babuji's guidance. Every morning when she would go to his room, she would see his pillow, takia, wet like water, wet. And she would say, "What are you doing, Bhaiya?" He would not say much, but he used to cry all night with utter madness for God. And when she was married off very young, as a Marwadi family, you know how orthodox they can be. Her mother-in-law would not allow her to meditate. She is घर में ध्यान करना मना है. Husband also was not very cooperative. We don't have such problems, but we create other problems on our own and we create our own excuses that I am so busy. Do you have such problems where your husband says, "Oh, don't meditate, other I'll throw you out"? No. Despite of such resistance in a family, she continued on. She would not let her husband know or anyone later on know that she is meditating. She would wake up very early and remain in the bed with Rajai over her head, laid in the bed, meditate. The cleaning that we do every evening, she says, I would go to the toilet and throw some water here and there and just do my own cleaning, the spiritual cleaning. So if you have a keen desire, killer's instinct, as they say, to achieve the highest, no one can stop us. But you have to determine, do you really, really, really want this God realization? God is happy with or without us. But where will we go without realizing? Life after life, life after life, we'll keep on repeating this journey until a day comes. We say, oh, Guru mil gaye, ज्ञान हो जाएगा. अभी गुरु भी मिला, अब क्या करोगे? It will be a biggest tragedy because there has never been such a path in the history of humanity. Never been. You go through Vedas, Upanishads, you go through all our holy literature. Such a system, such a simple system has never been there in the past. One would demand of you something or the other. Oh, you got to leave your home, become sannyasi, this or that. See. They make factions out of your life. Here we lead a complete life. Spirituality as well as soaring high in the material world also. Look at the lives of Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, Raja Janaka. We have glorious examples in front of us. And even many sages, Atri, Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, and many Upanishadic sages, they did not become celebrate or enunciate their lives. They led a complete balanced life, allowing Adhyatmik Jivan submerged or intermingled with Bhautik Jivan. See. And leading this way, even Bhautik Jivan becomes spiritual. Anything that spiritual life touches becomes spiritual. So the lives of such spiritual teachers with whom we interact day in and day out, they are our spiritual teachers. They guide us, they nourish us with this pranahuti. Of course, the source is always the master. But without these mediums, without these transmitters, where shall we go? So we have to be indebted to these folks who really spend their time with us. Who will spend half hour with you? We are not even paying them. At least let us be grateful to their services. Often some abhyasis, they phone up, sir, I am coming for a sitting, as if the preceptor owes something to that person. They don't even say, can I come? None of this such, civil language. Sir, I am coming. If you like it or not, they will come and have a sitting from you. See? So we have to learn a lot also, and we are learning every single day. I have never seen a preceptor saying, you come home and then say, oh no, I'm too busy to give you a sitting. So it has never happened to me at least. So we owe a lot to such spiritual teachers, and let us also pray that one day we also become the vehicles in serving others. Okay. So with this I'll close my whatever I wanted to share on this day of Teachers' Day in India. Who can be the best teacher? The question keeps arising. Whom do we love as our teacher? Whom do you recall from your school days? Pray for such a teacher on this day. Recollect those figures in your mind and pray to God for their happiness. They may be alive, they may not be alive, it does not matter, but they are still there somewhere. And who can be the best teacher? If you are also aspiring, not an educational teacher, but somewhere along, you are also a teacher to someone, to a little child or to your own children. How can you be the best? Only lesson I learned is that you can be the best only when you have the art of learning yourself. Then you can be the best teacher. Be the best student, that's all.